Don't wake the children up. Welcome back, everybody. I don't know why I'm whispering, but that's kind of like the part of the video. So yes, as this video is called, this is about having your dream valve amp or your dream tube amp, depending what you call it, but
setup.
at home volume.
Your dream setup.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can't tell you how many times I've read a comment on either our YouTube channel or one of our Facebook or Instagram pages or whatever saying...
Are you on Instagram?
Yeah. TikTok. Anyway, it's such a dad thing.
What was that?
It's just the basics way you do silly dances, isn't it? It's the whole point of TikTok. People who've got a beautiful guitar collection, they might have, you know, lovely Les Paul or custom shop Strat or Paul Reese or whatever, they've got a lovely collection. And they're like, but at home I just have to have this little, £200 amplifier because I just, I'm too frightened to make too much noise, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, and they're good little amplifiers. But
that's fun.
But, once you've had a taste of, the good stuff...
Taste of honey.
You don't want to go back, right? Or at least I don't. So, a couple of years ago, in my office at work, I started using the Two Notes Captor X with essentially a really nice valve amplifier and some pedals.
Yes.
And I just thought, we must at some point get round to properly explaining to you what my kind of office rig is.
Yeah.
And sort of saying again, look, you don't need to compromise on your home rig.
No.
If you don't have to.
Absolutely.
Again, so...
And also, sorry, but if you spend £4 grand on a guitar, 5 grand, 6 grand, 7 grand, 8 grand, why plug it into something and not really get the... you can collect these beautiful things.
Yeah, if you wouldn't go to a Ferrari dealer and say, do you do this Ferrari with like a 1 litre,
Yeah, or can I get tyres on it, you know.
Anyway, so look, Pete's rig today is his Telecaster, his pedal board, so all the good stuff on the pedal board, the Soldano SLO30, but instead of hearing this plugged into a conventional guitar cabinet, which is where it would be loud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too loud.
We're plugging the speaker output of this into the Captor X on the top here, and we're just hearing it through that.
That's it.
Just that.
That's it.
Okay, which is a Genelec 8010, and I'll talk about that in a minute. My rig is my Paul Reese Smith into my normal pedal board, into the Victory DP40, little 40-watt clean amp. This is going into an even more affordable option here called the Captor 16. And I'll explain the difference between the Captor range and the Captor X range. But again, into a little studio speaker. All right, now, I always know volume on YouTube is quite hard to sort of understand. It's part of the reason why we have the decibel meter in the corner. But here's me talking, all right? And what you're hearing now, you'll notice we haven't close mic'd these or anything, so we've just got room, you might hear a little bit through my lapel or there's mics in the room. But here's me talking, and you can hear my voice presumably relatively audibly over the guitar sound. Even if you're going, oh, I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to make that much noise. There's headphone outputs on these, or I can literally be like, I can be to the point where the string noise is louder than the guitar. And this is the thing for me with guitar. Yes, I want great tone, and I kind of agree to a certain extent with things like THR and Katana Air and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. The tone is pretty good, but it never has the feel.
No,
never has the feel
They designed the sound to sound good right in front of you in a room in a close proximity, you know. So, but you miss. There's definitely something missing.
Yeah.
You know. And
so it's
all about
as well. It's all about the feel for me, and what I've also, again, cost-wise, actually speaking, if you think that I already own the pedal board, I already own the amplifier because I bought it for, you know, gigging and stuff like that.
True.
So from a cost perspective, I'm not necessarily saying, you know, this is some mega expensive rig. I'm just saying the only bits that maybe you don't already have is one of these and one of these.
Yeah.
So,
and it doesn't have to be these, does it? It could be
another
more affordable rig, you know.
Let me take you through, in fact, Pete, perhaps if you can just plug into my rig for a second. Because then I'll take you through Captor X. Sorry, I'll take you through the Captor range. So, and I'll take you through these and what your options might be. So, Captor, and we'll put a full screen one on screen now. You can see it's what is it about the size of? I don't know, like a little. I don't even know what that's even the size of anymore. Just like a book. It's like a sort of it's like a fairly chunky kind of A5 book is the size of it. Inside here is an attenuator. So the speaker output of my guitar amplifier is plugged into the speaker input of the Captor. The Captor range come in 3 different versions, a 4 ohm, an 8 ohm and a 16 ohm version. So again, it's important to make sure that you buy one that is compatible with your amplifier. Most valve amplifiers will work at 8 or 16 ohms.
Yeah,
so I think the 4 ohm one is the only one that's unusual.
Yeah.
So anyway, into here, the output from here, this XLR lead now, is going into the Genelec speaker that I've got here. The Genelec is a mains powered active studio monitor. All right, so the amp for the Genelec is built into here, so it's not like an old-fashioned hi-fi speaker or whatever, if you like. I like the Genelecs because they're really, really small. They're probably some of the smallest active speakers you can buy, and it's quite a good brand, Genelec. So you know these aren't crazy cheap. These are about £300 each.
Each.
Okay. Having said that, of course, there are much more affordable powered studio monitors on the market. You know, you can start buying active studio monitors at under £100 a speaker for sure. But again, the only reason I quite like the Genelecs is they're so small, they actually sit on top of the amplifier. You'll probably find that if you go for a different brand, they might be a bit bigger.
I mean, if you get 2, there's your set, isn't
absolutely.
it? Look at that. It's
got ears.
Yeah, I mean, that... Honestly, I love these, but as I said, you don't have to use the Genelecs. You could, in fact, what we will do is we'll put a link in the description below to go to the Andertons section of our website where we sell all the active studio monitors. So you can just, you could get big ones like that if you wanted and play much louder, but there's almost like, what would be the point? So I love these.
Look at that.
This is the 8010, by the way. I think there are 3 speakers in this range that just get a little bit bigger each time. The guitar and bass mode is important because unlike Captor X, which has a full sort of digital suite of speaker emulation options, the simpler range, the simpler Captor, just has 1 guitar speaker emulation and 1 bass emulation. So we're on guitar mode at the moment. There are controls to flip the phasing if you want to. There's a ground lift control if you've got some noise, but again, dead simple. So this XLR output is the speaker emulated output, so that's what's running into here. We've got a dry line output, so if you do want to go into a different speaker emulation, say you've bought Two Notes Cab M or you've got some other
a little TC electronic thing with
all
all
that kind of stuff, or maybe you just want to do all your IRs from a plugin on your computer. You can do that. On the back, and I will just take a quick 2 seconds to sort of demonstrate the volume difference. The back has the speaker input, and again we'll show you this on screen now, speaker input, a speaker through, so if you just want to carry on connecting your speaker cab to it at its full volume, you can do.
So two jack out.
Or what's cool is it has a minus 20 dB output on the back.
Okay.
So, and if I just slot this in, now what you're hearing is the cabinet with it mic'd up, but at 20 dB less than the full volume would be. So,
yeah, that's not...
So, keep going.
So that's the little speaker?
That's this.
That's a 2x12.
So it's still a really effective way of having less volume.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't necessarily say that as soon as you plug any 1x12 or 2x12 cab in and you put a little bit of juice into it, it just moves air in a way that if you want it as silent as possible is going to annoy
neighbours.
Maybe not neighbours, but people in other rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to focus, as I said, for the rest of the demo on these. So that's Captor. You can see on the front of the amplifier here again, I've juiced this up. We've got the master volume over halfway, we've got the preamp volume over halfway, we can put some pumps and distortion pedals in.
Yeah, that is how I would normally run that
high
with
mode.
the 212, you know, so... And the good thing is, it probably takes fuzz better than...
Without a doubt. So, again, I know in here, with the way we're using the room mics, I know it might sound probably a bit more roomy. It might actually sound like we're in a bathroom.
And you
sort of have to trust us. It doesn't sound quite like that in the room. It sounds more... Because we're sitting much closer to the speakers than our microphones are. It sounds great.
I really like these, man. I think
they're
I think they're really, really good.
I don't know how many of these we sell. Genelec, I think, is a Swiss company. It's one of those kind of like, you know, it's just very Swiss. And you can see all the dents and dings on here because I've had these for years.
Maybe
now.
they were the ones who were calling me earlier.
No, that's
be.
Belgium.
Oh,
you
Belgium.
Said called you.
That's
your chocolate deal.
That's my chocolate deal coming through. Yeah, Danish chocolate. Danish Belgian chocolate.
So that's the Captor. These are currently on the Andertons website at £189.
Honestly.
So if you think about one of these,
that's less than a pedal,
and one of these under £500. Okay? And as I said, you can buy cheaper versions of this if you want, but under £500, you only need one. You don't need two. Just on that point, if you did want two, you'd need a little splitter box as well, because the Captor only has one output, this one on the front. So you'd need to run that into some sort of device that will split it into two, and then you could run two speakers if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But one is fine. So for £500, you can take your dream...
Your whole rig.
Your whole rig, pedals, everything, and just play at crazy low volume. What we have done... which again is relatively simple and to do. We've got these little DI boxes. Oh, can I show you? I'll try and show you. These little radio DI boxes. What we've actually done here is split the signal so that one signal is going to this powered speaker, but we're also continuing through to our mixing desk as well, which of course is the other reason that people buy these Captor boxes, is to record with. So this output on the front doesn't necessarily just have to go into a speaker. It can go straight into your desk. And I'm sure whilst we're playing, you know, we'll cut the audio, perhaps we'll do this at the end, we'll cut the audio between you hearing the room mics and you hearing the sort of DI'd stuff. Anyway, let's move on to the Captor X now. So now we're talking about Captor X. So Captor X is a bit more money. Captor X is...
if you need it.
400-ish, 450, something like that. It's the same basic concept. So again, we're now using the Soldano, so Pete's guitar into his pedal board, into the Soldano, the speaker output into the Captor X.
Into this one over here.
Into that one over there. Now, Captor X actually does have two XLR outputs. It has a left and right output, and actually part of the Torpedo software that you get with it will include things like stereo reverbs and stuff, so you could actually, you know, that's the whole point.
Enhancements and all sorts of stuff,
It also has the option to continue to run your speaker cabinet off the back of it if you want to, and actually has slightly more attenuation. So it has 3 modes of attenuation now, whereas the Captor just has one mode of attenuation. Other than that, it's basically the same. So if I grab so we're screen recording here. So this, now what you're looking at here is called Torpedo. On an iPhone, there are 2 pages, if I remember rightly. So there's the second page. So it looks a little bit more like a mixing console, I suppose. So the first page is where you choose the type of room that you want to be in, the type of speaker that you want, and the type of microphones that you want to use. If you're a real tweaker, you can sit and just go through endless combinations of rooms, cabs, microphones, positioning,
and where they
everything.
go, you can back of the microphone, all sorts of stuff.
If you're not a tweaker, you just need to go and find preset packs that you like. And that's where I think the Victory thing comes in. I think Revere did all the Victory stuff,
and it's so good. You literally get a nickel gold speakers, which are just the top speakers. I love them.
But there's artist packs and all kinds of stuff. So that's stuff that the packs, the speaker packs, you get some free ones in here, and then you buy other ones.
Yeah.
The second page, as you can see, you've got some EQ, you've got some enhancement, that's where your reverb comes in, you've got double tracking, and again, you'll see now the light of the EQ going on and off, the enhancer going on and off. That's me just pressing the screen, and if I put my finger over any of the controls, move it up and down, you can see they get changed.
Move the microphones around well, just so you can put your finger on a microphone and move that.
Yeah, so that is, there you go, look, you can see the microphone moving around now. So there you go.
I love it.
I don't know if you're seeing all of the countless messages that Pete's getting on screen at the time.
am I getting
I'm sort
loads,
of flicking them off as we go, so apologies about that.
I said Instagram, is it?
So, yeah.
I'm on Instagram, did we say that?
Again, you can see along the bottom here that those white kind of icons along the bottom take you through your presets. Take you through the different the view that you get, different cabinets that you can load in. There's loads and loads on here. And this is all free, by the way. This app is free.
Comes with it. And
the
so easy to use.
Yeah, actually there is. So that's Bluetooth. This is all working via Bluetooth. Okay, so if you've got either Android or iOS, could be on an iPad, could be on a phone, all works. Or you can. In fact, I think there's even more functionality. If you USB to this from your laptop.
I think it's the same, isn't it?
No, that's about auditioning. You can only hold a certain number of cabs.
Yes, and then
on the via the Bluetooth app, whereas on the when you're plugged in via USB, you can have like millions more. So look, that's basically it.
Did I tell you I was on Instagram as well?
Again, there'll be loads and loads of videos about the Captor X. I'm sure if you want to go and find them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so really, if you just play now, there are a couple of extra controls on the front here. So Captor X will store 6 different presets for you. So if you want certain cabs with reverb combinations and settings, you don't have to keep going back to your phone to find those. You can just dial them up from here. And then you've just got volume, voice, and space. So it's kind of, again, they're just sort of tone and ambience kind of controls.
Was that what he said in 2020? Was it volume, safe, space? What was it?
What was it? That was 2001, wasn't it?
No. It was, when the COVID hit.
Oh, I see.
Space, volume.
What is on the back here? Yeah, there's really nothing on the back here that's important. So again, you can. I'm sure we've shown those on screen.
Super easy. It's all super easy.
They both run off of little 9-volt supplies. I believe the smaller one, actually, Captor, will run off of phantom power if you can take that from. If you're using it as a recording device. I just don't know. Again, the whole point of this video was to go, it's super simple. You can just take your existing setup. You might be going, what if I've got a combo rather than a head and a cab? You need to look in the back. As long as you can detach the speaker from your combo, you can then run it into the Captor if you would prefer. And again, I don't even want, this isn't even like a sponsored Captor X video. You could absolutely do this with a UAD aux, you could do it with a Boss tube amp expander, you could do it with the Sur or the Boogie load boxes with the IRs in them.
With that cap clone.
To be fair, I think there's even, actually, Pete quite rightly said, we do this little Bugera jobby here, attenuator for under £100.
89 quid, yeah.
But the line out on that doesn't have any speaker emulation on it, so you'd also need to buy, a dedicated...
But you might have that already, And again, then if you have the little TC and the Bugera, that's less than 200 quid. So, it's an option. But this is so clever. So
yeah, I mean, this is basically my little... my little desktop studio thing. I'm very conscious of the fact that people don't want to take up a lot of space. So, that's my rig in my office is an amp, which is about the same size as that. It has a couple of speakers on it, and it has one of these.
Yeah. It's super cool.
Yeah.
I think they need to put some bigger feet on so we can come up, if you are watching this.
Two notes, yeah.
Just bigger feet so you can come above this here.
I'm sure you could glue some... bigger feet on it if you really want to.
I want to just put it on there and then.
Give us some, again, take us through some tones with the Soldano. Again, you can see, look, how, I mean, this is a 31. Oh, I tell you, there is a little, there's like a warning light here. If you put too much volume into this, you'll get this red light that comes up here and it doesn't like it. So I can probably,
are we on the normal channel?
Normal.
Yeah. There you go.
It's going, oh, I don't like that. Now, I have to be honest with you, this, with the volume halfway turned up, would be, through a normal cabinet, would be a minimum 100, 105 dB.
It's so loud.
And what did we get on there? Just topping out at 70.
And we can go on to overdrive channel.
I can speak louder. sounds so good, man.
It is a solution. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm at home, you know, as you know, did I mention I was on Instagram? So at home, I run one of those into a 1x12 cab
Yes,
with a Alnico Gold in it, and yeah, it does get loud, you know, and it probably gets too loud sometimes. As you saw, I did a video where I was at 118, 119 dBs. That's how loud I could play in my house, and that is too loud. And you know, I'm not a naysayer for all of this stuff, and I definitely can appreciate how good these sound.
Yeah.
And I'll never get my Katana Air or my THR or, you know, any of my little, I got a little Fender, they'll never, ever, ever sound like this. Ever.
It's
so
the feel.
I do understand.
It's like,
and it's the feel,
you know, it's... my personal favourite of all the little amplifiers out there probably is still THR, but, you know, the Vox Audio's good, Positive Grid Spark, they're all good, and they're, you know, and when you think about how much they are, they're insane, and they've got loads of effects.
How much does it cost an hour a THR? 30?
300 quid, something like that. Oh, the 30 might be 400 quid.
With the wireless, and then you need the wireless thing. So let's talk 500 quid-ish. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you have, as you say, if you have this already,
so
that's an amazing option.
Yeah,
because you wouldn't plug your pedal board into.
No, you wouldn't. And I'm not even sure things like fuzzes would work great into those types of amplifiers anyway.
No, I think
so. This is literally like, you know, you can be so at home and familiar, and you can get everything. You know, you can get all your board sounding right and everything,
and your loops and everything.
And then you haven't got to, you know, and then you can just take it out and go, right, I'm going down for a jam with my mates now. Just take this and this and
you have
my
a
little speaker cabinet, and boom, off you go.
Yeah.
As I said, you can have the cab plugged in at the same time. Anyway, with these, it's just a question of you know, you don't have to have it plugged in, or you can just switch it on its lower mode.
Who can design a really cool little station for all of this stuff? So you just slot the stuff in, and you have it at home.
Yeah, I did say that would be
like a wooden one in like a sleeve.
That would be like the ultimate Bang & Olufsen sort of thing for a guitar player, wouldn't it? A proper tube amplifier with this and these built in and looking really sexy.
And you just have a little hatch that just goes down.
You power it on, and like the lid goes.
Yeah, it comes up like that, like at the end of the bed.
Yes, that's what that's the ultimate sort of to go with your Paul Reed Smith and Tom Murphy.
And you sit in your bed on a Sunday morning, and the guitar just comes up from the side of the bed like this, and it comes up there, and then you just and you just go. Yes, that's me. And I need a little arm to come out with all my pedals from the other side of the bed. Yeah, but that's it just comes out of the bed.
And then a cup of tea from the other side. Herbal tea, obviously.
Herbal tea? No, coffee.
Play the guitar for you.
And then YouTube to just immediately default to the Andertons channel.
That's good, man.
Maybe we've taken like half an hour to explain something we could have taken 5 minutes to do.
Yes, but this is because I could tell you wanted to do this video because you're passionate about it, and you get lots of people asking, what do you do? And I think that is really cool, actually, to say you don't necessarily need a THR if you have all this stuff. Just get one of these and a couple of nice little speakers. I must admit, it is probably worth spending a little bit extra on a good pair of speakers like this, so you can actually hear, it sounds better, because smaller speakers...
This is the one, I mean, again, these have the Pete Thorne seal of approval.
Yeah.
If you go and see Pete's guitar amplifier, his Sur PT15 or 20 or whatever it is,
15, 20 or
kind of
100.
has one of these built into it, so that he can just run one of these speakers on it.
I mean, that's the other option. If you get one of the refs, you know, that'll have that built in, so you only just plug these into the back of it.
That's
perhaps,
true.
and then,
Pete's right. There are a small
or the little
number
Victory foot. Sorry to interrupt. The little foot V4 foot straight into there, and you know.
Yeah, there are. I don't know, not many, but there's a handful of brands that are incorporating this kind of tech into the amplifier.
Or the Blackstar St James has got that, so you can plug that in. Yeah, it's got their own one. Anyway, we are rambling, man. Have you asked people to like and subscribe? Did we do that?
No, I'll do that now. Please like and subscribe, because you might win something.
Yes.
Anyway.
Nice merch, that.
Do you like this t-shirt? I like that t-shirt
Well,
too.
I need some more jumpers, I think. We need some more colourful jumpers.
Okay. Jamming? Just
yes,
saying goodbye.
let's have a jam.